Hey guys, this is Chetan,
And this is Abby.
and welcome back to the Unprofessionals. So, on last Thursday, we got a little bit of an appetizer with the Cowboys and Buccaneers, with the Buccaneers, the world champions, uh, beating the Cowboys. But then we got the main appetizer for Sunday. We got 14 games. We had the NFL was back. I was watching on three different screens. I had NFL Red Zone going. I know Abby had the same thing, the same kind of setup. He just had games going on and on and on. And there's nothing like having the NFL back. It was just, yeah, when the NFL is back, it was completely different. Your week is just better. You're talking about football all week, and this is what we're here to do. And we're going to start it off with an upset or quote unquote upset from what Vegas had the Falcons as the favorites against the Eagles, but the Eagles just put on a show. They they just beat Atlanta's ass. That's the easiest way to say it. And the new era starts in Philly. Jalen Hurts, 3 TDs, one of them to uh, I guess everyone's new favorite wide receiver in Philadelphia, Devontae Smith. And other than that, it's just I gotta give all the credit in the world to Abby, who has been calling this since the preseason. He's been like, yeah, no, Eagles are gonna pull off this upset. I don't know why Vegas is doing this. This is easily on the Eagle side. So Abby, I'm just gonna let you take it from here.
I mean, you summed it up perfectly, in my opinion. I've been saying this since the damn schedule came out. What the hell are people looking at with Atlanta? Their O line's okay. The D line has one great player in Grady Jarrett. They have Dante Fowler, who I don't even know if he played that day, Sunday. I didn't see him once. And their secondary, they have the young second year AJ Terrell, and that's it. I cannot name you a linebacker. I cannot name you their safeties, and I cannot name you anybody else on that defense. Their O line is solid, nothing crazy, and they have a really good receiver in Ridley, and they have this promising tight end. He is not in the Hall of Fame yet, people. Kyle Pitts, at the end of the day, is still a rookie tight end. Rookie tight ends don't do shit in their rookie years. Do you remember what we said about TJ Hawkinson? Do you remember what we said about OG Howard? Never have they ever done anything great. He's not Travis Kelce right now. He's not Darren Waller. He's not George Kittle. He's none of those dudes right now. I think half of his total yards came in the first drive. The Falcons, that was one of the top three most disgusting performances of week one. You did not score a touchdown at home. And I have been high on the Eagles. I absolutely love Jalen Hurts. Anyone that knows me, anyone that's heard this show, anyone that's heard anything I've ever said about football recently, I have been a Jalen Hurts fan since the beginning because all this man has done is deal with adversity and only get better and better and better. And you saw it on full display on Sunday. Devontae Smith, he got his tight ends. He got Miles Sanders. That O-line is one of the best when fully healthy, which they currently are. And that D-line, Sweat, you got Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, made a key stop on third down. Darius Slay, at corner. You got Eric Wilson to pick up from Minnesota. You got Anthony Harris from Minnesota. I'm not telling you that the Eagles are going to be the playoffs. Could they? Of course. But the Eagles, for you to give the foul, at one point the line was plus 4.5. Like, you got to be kidding me. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn here. It's just something that I realized early, and I couldn't believe it. And I hope whoever listened, I know a lot of people I know did, and I hope you made some good money off of it because the Eagles, man, Carson Wentz is gone. It's now the Jalen Hurts era in Philadelphia.
All right, moving on to we're heading to Buffalo where they were.
This was a bar. Oh, a lot of people lost a lot of money because of this game.
They took on the Pittsburgh Steelers, which ended up 23-16, and the entire first half it looked like Buffalo. They're up 10-0. The QB playing with some swag. Josh Allen, who I thought was going to win MVP this year, still a long season ago, but it just ended up that second half, mainly the fourth quarter, Pittsburgh scored 17 points to take the victory.
The plum block was huge. Plum block touchdown was huge.
Yep, it that changed the momentum of the game.
Deontay Johnson saying whatever ballerina catch he had in the end zone.
And I think other than that, the news of this game was Josh Allen had two fumbles, Devin Singletary had two fumbles, and then you just talked about it, the block punt. It is at the end of the day, Pittsburgh's defense, which we spoke very highly of, and the reason that they will still be Pittsburgh, and when we pick future games, is this defense is still real. I think that's the biggest conclusion I came up with. This is, with Buffalo, I'm not worried. Yeah, guess what? They just played a top 10, a top 5 defense in this league, right? So if they come back next week and if they have a stinker, then I'll be worried. But for now, Buffalo side, I'm not worried. Pittsburgh, their defense is still real. And I guess the one thing I would say is you and I on this Najee Harris fan club, for anyone else that has joined this fan club and drafted him in their fantasy league, just relax. He's a rookie. He'll figure it out. Abby?
I'm with you for the most part. I will say this. I think Buffalo lost this game. I don't think the Steelers won it. Like you mentioned, 4 fumbles. You said 2 by Singletary, correct? And 2 by Josh Allen?
Yep.
How many were lost? I don't.
3, I believe.
I think that punt block, that special teams, you can't predict that. The fumbles, up 10-0 at half. I think I think I was the only one that picked the Steelers to make the playoffs. I think. I'm pretty sure none of you guys did. So you guys know I'm high on Pittsburgh.
No, I think I had them getting the second or one of the wild cards there. I had the AFC North as the team that had three playoff teams.
Okay, then you were right there with me then, if you did. And I think Steelers, their offense looked terrible. They made the plays. They won the game. It was one of those crazy games they ended up winning. Buffalo, I think they'll be fine, bro. They're going to be fine. They got the player. That defense, listen, shutout on the first half. So, clearly, and 7 points off a palm block. So, theoretically, the defense gave up 10 points.
Yeah.
That's it. So, defense, nothing to worry about. Buffalo had a bad day offensively. Steelers defense is no joke. TJ Watt, what a player. Cam Hayward, what a player. Stephon Tuitt, what a player. Devin Bush, Joe Hayden, Mika Fitzpatrick. They got stars left and right. So I'm not worried about Buffalo. They took the L. They got to learn from it. It's a tough home loss in Pittsburgh. They put them on notice that we still got dudes in Pittsburgh.
All right, moving on to a game that you probably want to forget. It was the Cincinnati Bengals winning in overtime against the Minnesota Vikings. Joe Burrow comes back. Joe Burrow looks fantastic. He looks like the QB that me and you raved about. I think the big thing here is Vikings defense still got pressure. They got 5 sacks. Jamar Chase, for all the things they were saying, Jamar Chase can't catch NFL football. He can't get spacing, this or that. I mean, the kid had 5 catches, 101 yards for a TD. On the other side, it wasn't pretty. The first half looked like they were struggling. That second half, like you said, gave you hope that, hey, they're still the Minnesota Vikings. And I guess the best way to say it is this game was pretty much the referees had more control of this game or the outcome of the game than the players did. Because both you and I saw Dalvin Cook was down and they still called it a fumble. So Abby, I'm gonna let you have this one.
Okay, are you done? Because this is okay. Okay, let me say how this actually happened. Vikings were awful in the first half. You cannot have 13 penalties for what? 130, bro. That's absolute bull crap. I don't care if it's week 1. I don't care if they have fans back there. There's no excuse for that. That's number 1. I'm proud of the team because in the second half they got tied the game. Our kickers are never trustable, and my man Greg Joseph made a 53-yarder to tie it to go to OT. Now, those assholes that are the Foot Locker foot soldiers, whatever they're called, I despise referees. I despise referees in all sports. And the reason why I'm saying this is, they have a tough job. Yeah, of course they do. It's a very tough job. I would never want to have it. But when you go to review a play, if you miss a call in live action, I understand that. That's fine. We're all human. We make mistakes. It's a very difficult job. I understand that. When you go to the freaking replay and it shows his ass cheeks on the ground with the ball, and you still say ruling on the field stands, bruh, they cost Minnesota the game. We were in Cincinnati territory. Worst case scenario, we would have worst case scenario would have been a missed kick, or if we felt it was too long, we would have punted it, and then the Bengals would have had to drive the whole field to score. Instead, they get the ball at the halfway point, midfield. So, O-line did not play great, in my opinion. Rashad Hill was awful, in my opinion. Penalties, insane. Brashard Brilliant got absolutely cooked. I think he was dealing with some sort of injury, Mike Zimmer said. Anthony Barr did not play. Christian Darrisaw, the first-round pick, didn't play. Overall, I thought Michael Pierce, what a performance. What a player. Great. Daniil Hunter. I felt Patrick Peterson, I think, got targeted once, I think. Justin Jefferson, he looking like Adam Thielen, wow, man. Gets better with age. Dalvin Cook was solid. Kirk Cousins was solid. I'm not gonna overreact. It's an awful loss, in my opinion. You gotta win this game. But at least it's a road loss in OT. And you can really say we should have won. I hate it, but at least I ain't the hippie. And we'll get into that later.
All right,
And we
moving
are
on.
gonna beat Arizona week 2. We're gonna beat them birds. Just know. We ain't start 0-2. That's for another. That's for another day. But you know my thoughts. Minnesota gonna go to Arizona. Them dirty birds, or whatever those birds are called, Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, we ain't the Titans. We ain't the Titans.
All right, moving on to San Francisco at Detroit. This
Oh,
game
move on, please. I
was
don't care. You know what? Let me just say this. You know what? Thank you, Chetan. I understand you're doing your job here. Final score 41-33. San Francisco had a 38-10 lead. The big story from this game is the injuries. Okay, yes, the Detroit Lions made a so-called comeback. Give them credit; they didn't quit. Good for Jared Goff. After all the shit he got, all the shit that happened, all the shit talk that was given to him. Good for him. He played well. But bruh, you gave up 41 points. You were down 28 at home. There's nothing to talk about here. San Francisco is just chilling. Deebo Samuel with the dumbest fumble I've seen. An onside kick. It took legit God to come on the field and give presents, early Christmas presents, for Detroit to even make this game close. I never, for 1 sec, I'm on God, that I feel Detroit was going to win this game. Even though they had the ball with 10 seconds to go into 49ers territory. I had no doubt in my mind. Detroit got to find a way to choke this game.
Yep.
And they did. And if they did somehow score a touchdown, there's no way they were going to score a 2-point conversion. That's how confident I was. At the end of the day, San Francisco, the thing was this win came with casualties, and that's the problem. That's the big storyline, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, they're marching down the field. I'm like, yeah, they just converted a 2-point conversion on the last time down. There's no way, even if they score, they were gonna do that again. So
I think mathematically would define. They were mathematically defying math. Think about the statement. They were mathematically defying math. That's what they were doing. Put that on a T-shirt.
Because they got the touchdown 2-point conversion, get the onside kick, which is far more difficult now than it used to be back in the day.
Yeah, no head starts.
And then to come back, score another TD, and get a 2-point conversion to send it to overtime. The odds on that? As a gambling man, if you put $1 on that, you'd probably make like $1,000. Moving on to the aforementioned Arizona Cardinals putting the beat down on the Tennessee Titans. I have seen plenty of TikToks today on, hey, it's called like the fantasy football bust of week 1. And, Derrick Henry, 17 carries, 58 yards. You told me in a very long guessing game, which I am not very proud of, that he was the biggest, he had the highest odds of scoring a touchdown week one, did not do it. And then Julio Jones, a disappointing debut, 3 catches, 29 yards. That's about it. 3 catches, 29 yards. AJ Brown, 4 catches, 49 yards. He did get a TD, but the big news here is Kyler Murray looks like he's playing Madden, and it was very, very impressive. He had a total of 5 TDs, 2 passes to DeAndre Hopkins, 2 to Christian Kirk, and he he just looked fantastic. Abby?
Um, I understand your point of view. I'm gonna say this. I think first, give all the credit in the world to Arizona. They went on the road, first game. All the fans back in Nashville, they were rocking. They took care of business. They absolutely dogged them. But I felt this was about two things. The Tennessee Titans defense is was and for will be sus sus sus. They did nothing really to change the defense. They added some players from the draft. They got Bud Dupree coming off of an ACL injury, and bruh, their defense is so bad. And I think this is less about Arizona than it is about Tennessee. And Taylor Lewan summed it up best. He got his ass whooped. He openly admitted it. I like that. He at least openly, he's a man enough. He's a man that's man enough to admit when he got beaten by someone else. And Chandler, that's all of this. For this game, it was about two things. Tennessee's defense is so bad, and Chandler Jones was that good. 5 sacks. He single-handedly won them the game because he basically scored a touchdown by himself. I think he forced 2 fumbles, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
He absolutely destroyed 5 of their drives. So he single-handedly destroyed 5 drives of the Titans. And Kyler Murray was sensational. But in my opinion, bro, this is more about Tennessee's defense being so sad. So Mike Vrabel for being a head coach defensively, I don't know where this defense is, so-called defense is. And what we also learned is Ryan Tannehill, when Derrick Henry ain't rolling, neither is he. When Derrick Henry ain't rolling, he can't do nothing. And he is a solid guy, solid player. But without that monster being a monster, they have no hope. And we'll see, because they go to Seattle next. Let's see what they do. At Arizona, yeah, they go home and they play my Minnesota Vikings. Let's see what happens.
All right, moving on to the team that you just mentioned. The Seattle Seahawks defeat the Indianapolis Colts 28-16. If I were to sum it up for the Seattle side, it was let Russ cook for 18 for 23, 254 yards, 4 TDs, 2 of them to his boy Tyler Lockett, 4 yards, 4 catches, 100 yards. DK catches a TD, as well as his new tight end, Gerald Everett. On the Indianapolis side, it's not that they played bad. It's just they did not play good enough. Carson Wentz, if in any other game, strong debut, but because of what Russell Wilson did, obviously his quarterback play gets overlooked. 25 for 38, 251 yards, 2 TDs. Running game, it wasn't as expected. Jonathan Taylor, 17 carries, 56 yards. Naeem Hines, 9 carries, 34 yards. And Abby, what are your thoughts?
I have a slightly different take than you. I think Seattle absolutely bullied this team. For a team that has, in my opinion, no corners, that defense absolutely balled out. And they dropped 28 in Indy. Russell Wilson threw bombs in Indy on that defense. Kenny Moore, Darius Leonard, Xavier Rhodes was a late scratch. What's his name? DeForest Buckner. All these players they have on defense. And he threw bombs to Lockett. Absolute beautiful dimes. DK Metcalf, Gerald Everett, the tight end from the Rams. He'll probably be used more here. This is probably the best tight end that Russell Wilson has had in his career. Low key, in my opinion, Greg Olsen was towards the end of his career. Obviously, Greg Olsen may go down as a Hall of Famer, but and Jimmy Graham was also, bruh. Since New Orleans, Jimmy Graham was no longer that player, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
Gerald Everett, his athleticism, this could be the best tight end that Russell Wilson's ever had. And don't you let him get a tight end, because he already got that monster out there with DK, and you got Lockett, the slot monster. So, and you still got Chris Carson running it up, and you got Dwayne Brown. You traded for Gabe Jackson from Oakland. So listen, I think Seattle made a statement. Yes, Carson Wentz, I understand. I'm not gonna go crazy on Carson Wentz in his first game. He had a huge injury, but that defense absolutely dominated that O-line. And all we say is Indy's O-line is great, 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 great. Well, they dominated them, and they only gave up 10 points. So Seattle was one of my teams that made an absolute statement. I'm gonna give Indy time because they have a lot of new moving parts.
All right, moving on to a game that you and I did not bet on. You did not want to touch because this was going to be an interesting game. It came down to the last drive where Los Angeles comes around with the touchdown. I wouldn't say I was impressed by either sides. Washington did its job on defense. They just couldn't stop the last drive for Los Angeles. And for Los Angeles, it was hard getting points up, I would say. At the end of the day, the biggest news here was Ryan Fitzpatrick out with a hip injury. So Tyler Heineke steps in. Tyler Heineke will be the starter moving forward. And that's about it. It's just the only team in the AFC East, in the NFC East that got a win. It was the Eagles, and we'll see what happens moving forward. Abby, what are your thoughts?
Bro, Fitzmagic, bro, this man can't catch a break, man. He hasn't made the playoffs his whole career. He was pretty damn good last year in Miami. Got benched for Tua because he had to give their young rookie a chance. He goes to Washington. It's finally his chance. And what happens? He gets injured. He's out 6 to 8 weeks. And if Heineke does anything, he may have lost his last chance at starting in the league. So I felt for him, man. Justin Herbert, flat out balling. I felt the biggest takeaway from this game was the Chargers O-line. Did y'all see Rashawn Slater? That's who I wanted in Minnesota. That's who I wanted. And they picked him one spot ahead of me as a Vikings fan. Rashawn Slater is a real deal. Chase Young, who? That's the message I got. And no, I'm not disrespecting Chase Young. I'm just telling you, Rashawn Slater, that O-line, Corey Linsley, they added players to protect their investment. And I think that's how you got to do it. They have the weapons. Keenan Allen, what a monster, man. He'd be shifting everybody. He's just a monster, the most underrated receiver in football. If y'all don't know about Keenan Allen, man, look him up. He's probably the best route technician in the game right now. Mike Williams is that freak. Go throw the ball up to him. He got it. And Austin Eckler, he's a new Darren Sproles. He's a more light-skinned Darren Sproles, in my opinion. And Justin Herbert, he flung that thing around and he did his job against that on the road against Washington. Washington's defense is going to be good. They only gave up 20 points. They're going to be good. Now Curtis Samuel's out. He's on a short-term IR, I think. You lost Fitzmagic. So we'll see how Cam Newton, bro. Man, if he don't get signed by Washington, then I think Cam may have to wait till God knows what to get a job. I feel bad for him. I feel Cam would be amazing in Washington. Not even just this year, going forward. Cam Newton is not an old quarterback. So I personally don't think any quarterback in this NFL draft, I'm not trying to go on a tangent here, but I don't think there's any real superstar QB in this NFL draft. I'm going to be honest with you. So Cam, bro, I hope he gets a shot. Maybe. We'll see. I don't think he will from what everyone has said in Washington. All in all, I felt this was a great win by the Chargers. Derwin James was back. Chris Harris, Joey Bosa, that defense. And Washington, tough loss, but their quarterback got hurt and they still battled. So short week. We're about to get into it. Giants come to town. Division game tomorrow. Thursday Night Football. First real Thursday. Opening night is opening night. Well, this is week 1 of Thursday Night Football, in my opinion. And we're gonna get into it. I don't think you're gonna like what's coming up, Chetan, as a Giants fan. But overall, I felt this was a very, very hard-fought NFL game.
All right, moving on to the grudge match between Sam Darnold of the Carolina Panthers and his former team, the New York Jets. On the New York Jets side, they start off really slow, 16-0. Zach Wilson makes his debut. And, I didn't know what to expect from Zach Wilson first game out, but he made that one beautiful scramble and pass to, what was it, Corey Davis? I think back in the end zone for a touchdown. And they just put him in that.
He threw a ball up to Elijah Moore that he should have caught.
Yeah, that too. And Elijah Moore, yeah. But from what I saw of Zach Wilson, I love what I saw from Zach Wilson. I understand he's a rookie.
For a minute now, man. Been saying it for a minute now. This man's a real deal. The Jets found the guy. I don't care. It's been one game. I don't care. When you know, you know. I know it with Jalen Hurts, and I know it with this dude.
Yeah.
He got it. The Jets have what the other Giants team doesn't. If I put Zach Wilson right now on the New York Giants, your team would have – I would pick the Giants to make the playoffs, even with that O-line that you guys have up there. We're going to get into them in a bit. But Zach Wilson, he that guy. He is it, in my opinion. He got that, just that aura. You just can look at it and see. And I was happy for Sam Darnold. He balled out. Robbie Anderson revenge game. And that defense got players. Shaq Thompson, Dwayne Brown. My man Brian Burns is a monster. The safety. I keep forgetting his name. Jeremy Chin. What a player. Dante Johnson, the corner. I didn't see much from J.C. Horn. I didn't really see much from him. I didn't see him stand out. He could have played a great game. I'm just talking about like the highlights from what I was watching. But the Panthers are on their way up, and Christian McCaffrey. I'm a Dalvin Cook fan. I'm a diehard Dalvin Cook, Kamara, all of these guys. Christian McCaffrey is the best running back in the game, and he is just amazing. It was a shame we got robbed of him last year. I hope, knock on wood, he stays healthy because he is the new Marshall Faulk of, and I'm not talking about skin color. I know he white. Marshall Faulk wasn't, but this man, I don't care what skin color he is. He is the best back in football when healthy.
Yeah, no, I looked at his numbers. He had 98 rushing yards and 89 receiving yards. I'm like, oh my God.
He earned every yard he got.
Yeah. And then let's not forget the one bit. I mean, it's Sam Darnold, his revenge game. Who he links up with for that touchdown was Robbie Anderson. Can't forget that. I feel like that.
Oh, yeah.
Got to bring that one up. That was 100% revenge game. But I love what I saw from Carolina. Carolina can make some noise in the NFC South, at least. Here or there, they can, with what we saw from the Saints, what we saw from when we talk about them is the NFC South is no joke, other than the Falcons. So let's move forward. I guess this is pretty easy. Texans win 37-21. Urban Meyer and Trevor Lawrence just realized, hey, we are not going to win.
Please stop. Texans won. Final score 37-21. Move on, please.
All right. This is probably the game of the afternoon. I wouldn't say maybe game of the day. Absolutely fantastic football game played by the Cleveland Browns and Kansas City Chiefs. Cleveland starts with a quick strike and then goes for a 2-point conversion, showing them, hey, no, we're not fucking around this season. And, they were playing excellent. They scored two more TDs. They're up what was it 22-10 heading into halftime. And it I would compare the Cleveland Browns to an F-150, but the Kansas City Chiefs are a Ferrari. They have any all the assets that you need, and they come out third quarter, score 10 points, make it quick and easy. It's 22-10 heading into the fourth quarter, and Patrick Mahomes does what Patrick Mahomes does. He rush. He's being chased down and pretty much said, "Fuck it, Tyreek Hill is out there somewhere." Guess what? Tyreek Hill was out there. Tyreek Hill makes the catch. He makes the play. Touchdown. Travis Kelce does his thing. And before you know it, it is a Kansas City Chiefs victory, 33-29. What else can you say about Kansas City? Abby, your thoughts?
I thought Frank Clark was dearly missed. Tyrann Mathieu was hugely missed. That was huge misses on defense. Without those two, Cleveland did whatever they wanted. They ran the ball down their throat, and Kansas City still won. They didn't have Odell, which was huge. What did we say last year when the playoff game ended? If
Darren Odell
Beckham was on the team, they would have won that game. They needed Odell. Guess what? They needed Odell yesterday. Jarvis Landry is a very, very, very good receiver. He is not Odell Beckham Jr. when healthy. It's just not even close. He is a game changer. They needed the game changer. David Njoku was phenomenal. Nick Chubb was phenomenal. Kareem Hunt was phenomenal. That rookie Anthony Schwartz was phenomenal. Jarvis Landry, everyone was phenomenal. There are no moral victories, but Cleveland Browns should not hang their head down because they did an amazing job. Mahomes in September is not a man you want to mess with. They won. That new O-line they had, they were shaky at times, in my opinion. Myles Garrett took, I think he had a sack or two. That defense played. The Chiefs' defense in the first half was awful, but give them credit. In the second half, they only gave up 7 points. They missed, as I mentioned, Frank Clark was a huge miss, and Tyrann Mathieu is obviously the brains of the defense. So he wasn't there. So they dearly missed them in the game, especially in the first half. But what can you say? Kelce, Hill, Mahomes, if they're playing, you have a 99% chance of winning at this point. In September, you have a 100% chance. And the Chiefs did what they did. But Cleveland, just know, this is not the same old Cleveland Browns. They're not. They're not. And watch out for Cleveland.
I think I just want to mention total yards gained by the Cleveland offense, 474 yards. That is, yeah, they're in for a fun ride in Cleveland this year. Moving forward, to a game that both you and I agree that, hey, at the end of the day, the Patriots should have won. They simply just blew it on key turnovers. Miami pulls out a 17-16 victory in a battle of Alabama QBs, neither of which really impressed me. I know moving forward, yeah, we'll see more out of them, but it was a key fumble by Damian Harris that stalled a Patriots drive, which ended with them losing this game. It was a defensive showdown, I would say. And at the end of the day, one team did what they're supposed to do, pulled out a victory. Abby, what are your thoughts?
I felt Mac Jones looked good. He looked really good, especially for a rookie. I felt New England lost the game. 2 fumbles, key fumbles. That was the game. They were in field goal range. That was a gimme field goal or a touchdown. New England was going to win the game. He fumbled. That changed the whole game. Tua played solid. Devontae Parker made plays. Jalen Waddle, rookie, touchdown, his first touchdown. He can fly. The defense made plays. And I felt Miami. I picked Miami to win this game, but New England should have won it from what I saw. Mac Jones looked great. They still need a superstar. I've been saying that since the offseason. Cam, Mac, whoever you want, they need a superstar receiver, which they currently do not have. So, all in all, I felt the New England Patriots should have won this game. And when you lose a game you should have won, that hurts. And now they're on their way to the Jets. And, hey, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Josh Allen, Tua, all 4 young bucks. going forward.
All right, moving forward to the game that I'm assuming that you're gonna love talking about.
Oh no! Let me have my moment. Let me get into that. Let me. You've been introducing everything greatly. Let me get into this. The Green Bay Packers playing at the Saints, even though it was not at the Saints, it was at Jacksonville. It was at Jacksonville. I hope everyone's doing great with Hurricane Ida. Obviously, our thoughts and prayers are out with everyone. That's awful. It's disgusting. New Orleans, get back. We can't wait for you guys to get back. But let's get into the hippie. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. He's great. I'm not an idiot. I've been watching him for over a decade. I despise him. I despise everything about him. I despise his hair. I despise his baggy eyes. I despise his clothes. I despise his hippie hair. I despise everything about him because he's that great. You only hate on greatness. And that's what I hate him for, his greatness. But guess what? He wasn't so great on Sunday, was he? 3 points? 3 points? Listen, that defense for the Green Bay Packers was absolutely dreadful. Jameis freaking Winston. My man went to the eye doctor. I can't believe he didn't do it earlier. He went in. He said, fix my eyes because I'm throwing way too many interceptions. I don't know why I got this. I didn't get the surgery done before, but I want to get it done now. He got LASIK, and what did he see? He saw 5 different receivers wide open, 5 separate times, and threw 5 touchdowns. I have never seen a stat line where a man threw for 148 yards and had 5 touchdowns. But guess who did it? Jameis Winston. Sean Payne, what a job. What a job. What a job. I know it's one game, but this one game told me a lot. I was very wrong about the Saints. I will openly admit, I am sorry, Sean Payne. I am sorry to the city of New Orleans in terms of the football aspect from it. When Michael Thomas comes back, hopefully sooner rather than later, this team got a chance. That defense is amazing. They lost some players to injury yesterday. Marshawn Lattimore, he got paid. My man got paid. Marshawn Lattimore, give him his credit. He's a top 3 corner when healthy. He's amazing. They played amazing defense. Devontae Adams was shut down. Aaron Jones did nothing. Aaron Rodgers did nothing. That was the worst game of Aaron Rodgers' career. Mind you, he is not a rookie. He is not a second-year player. He is in his, 15th season and his 11th year starting, whatever the stats, whatever the numbers are. So all in all, Green Bay got out-coached. Green Bay got out-dogged. Green Bay got out-toughed. Green Bay got out-schemed. Green Bay got outplayed. It's only one game, and now they get to go home and play Detroit. Wow, congratulations. So they'll probably beat Detroit, look all nice, look all good. Devontae Adams will probably score 2 touchdowns. Aaron Jones will probably score a touchdown. Aaron Rodgers got to keep smiling. But just know, it's not as good as it is in Green Bay anymore. I can't wait. This is not last year where it was just them in Tampa Bay. It's not 2 years ago when it was just them in San Francisco. We're about to get into the Rams. We know what Tom Brady represents. Seattle looked amazing. San Francisco, when healthy, we know what they can do. Arizona did look good. And at least Minnesota didn't get beat down by 35. Green Bay, have a nice day.
Hey, Abby, you know the last team that lost 38-3 to the New Orleans Saints? You know what happened to them?
I really don't know who.
Tampa Bay last year won the Super Bowl.
Oh, my God. That does not mean anything. I'm sorry. Because Tampa Bay has a guy named Tom Brady.
All right. But just my thoughts on this. I love every minute of watching what Jameis Winston did. From all the times in college where, I've watched him since he was in Florida State, that national championship. The one game against Oregon where they memed the crap out of him for slipping and fumbling the ball, to, the crab legs, him saying he's eating W's, to, he got LASIK, and it was pretty much putting a scope on a sniper, and he was just like, I can see who I'm throwing to. I ain't doing no 30-30 this year. He's like, I'm winning this MVP. I'm coming out. I'm winning this MVP. Jameis Winston, like I said a couple weeks ago, he's not been in that league that much. He was 2014 or was it 2015? Um, Either or. He's hasn't been in the league very much, very long. He's only he's only 27 years old, and under the right coach, I think we have a bright future ahead in New Orleans. Let's see what they do because they look like they're also the real deal.
Okay, now let's move on to the final game of the 4 o'clock window. The New York Giants playing the Denver Broncos. I picked Denver. You picked Denver. I don't know how you picked Denver. You a Giants fan, but whatever. I picked Denver for other reasons. I felt they were going to win. I felt they were going to win people money. I did not even expect what I saw. Jesus Christ. Bruh, that so-called defense, Teddy Bridgewater looked like Patrick Mahomes out there. And I love Teddy, former Viking. I will always cheer for Teddy Bridgewater because of his story, what he went through, his injuries, etc. That O-line, man, it's worse than I thought.
I told you it was bad.
Listen, you don't have to tell me. I knew. I saw that preseason game. That one preseason game told me everything I need to know against the Patriots. The Patriots don't got pass rush. They got Matthew Judon, who is a solid pass rusher, but he ain't Von Miller. He's not. Guess what? Bradley Chubb did not even play. Bro, he didn't even play. And you still, I'm not trying to overreact to week 1. I'm not trying to be that dude. But if you couldn't block one dude, you're going to Washington, and they got 5 of them. They got 4 of them, whatever amount. Bro, I'm sorry. Jerry Jeudy, thank God it's only a high ankle. I thought he was out for the season. Jerry Jeudy, hurry up and get better because you are a stud. Noah Fant, balling. Cortland Sutton, coming off the injury, he didn't do much. My man Melvin Gordon broke one loose like he was from Wisconsin still. He looked like the Wisconsin running back out there.
Yeah.
The line was amazing. Teddy Bridgewater had all the time in the world. Sterling Shepard looked great. Saquon Barkley looked like – listen, obviously he's coming off an ACL injury. If Saquon Barkley does not have a great year, he will go down as one of the worst draft picks ever. I'm sorry. Because of where he was picked. His hype, where he was picked, and what people said he was. And the physical the talents that he has. When you get picked second, Adrian Peterson got picked 7th. And look what he did. This is year what? Year 3 for Saquon or year 4? I think it's year 3, right?
No, 18, 19, 20, year 4.
Wow. Year 4 and nothing so far. Absolutely nothing. You see what Christian McCaffrey's doing? That's what a top 10 running back does. Zeke Elliott, at least his first couple years, he was dominant. He wasn't as great the couple past seasons, but he was dominant. So Saquon, yo man, I hope you do great. Giants fans are banking on it. Daniel Jones fumbled again. Evan Ingram, still not playing. He's not playing tomorrow. Galladay was okay. Sterling Shepard was phenomenal. Defense looked lost. Giants fan, take over.
I mean, our saving grace was Riley Dixon punting it away.
That was your MVP, right?
Yep. But like I told you in the beginning of the offseason, hey, we let Zeitler, we cut Zeitler. Oh my God. And I'm sitting there absolutely miserable. And then what was it? At 18, we pick Kadarius Toney. And then you guys had the pick right after, right? With Darisaw? Was Darisaw 22?
22.
I think Toney was 21.
Well, yeah, whatever, you passed on him. So
right. So like I'm sitting there like, well, man, we passed on an offensive line to go to do what? I'm sorry, but Kadarius Toney had 2 catches minus 2 yards.
Bro, don't say that, man. He's a rookie. Stop.
I know, but
pick the players that's been there.
But like I'm just saying, offensive weapon. We just saw what Rashawn Slater just did against Chase Young, who, if we drafted, we face him twice a year. I wanted offensive line help. That's all I'm going to say. But, hey, if we can turn it around, we can turn it around, but it's not happening tomorrow. And we'll get into
I think the biggest takeaway from this is the New New York Jets are in a better position right now than New York Giants.
I'm not gonna agree or disagree with that one because
And
it'll hurt
now
my
we get to the Sunday night game. The newest arrival, the biggest talked about arrival, Matthew Stafford. Wow. 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 I've been with this man. I've seen this man up close for the past decade as a Vikings fan. I've always thought this guy got all the tools, man. He has got to get the fuck out of Detroit. I would have loved him in Minnesota many times. And he finally got out of there, got to a team with a real great head coach, offensive mind. You got Cooper Kupp, you got Van Jefferson, you got Deshaun Jackson, you got Robert Woods, you got a decent old line. Running back situation not the best, but my takeaway from this game was Chicago, you guys are complete freaking idiots. Enjoy being fools because you didn't start Justin Fields. Justin Fields should be starting. I'm sorry, Andy Dalton. He is a very solid player. I'm sorry. You got to worry about the future now. Justin Fields should be starting. David Montgomery looked great. The biggest takeaway was the Rams offense looked great. The Rams defense, yeah, they only give up 14 points? I'm sorry. That Rams defense did not look good, in my opinion.
I mean, my takeaway from this is, you see how happy Aaron Donald was on the sidelines when he saw Matthew Stafford throwing the ball? The kid was giddy. He was just like, oh my God, this is what it's like not to have Blake Bortles or Jared Goff on the field. He goes, hey, we might win a Super Bowl here. And I mean, I'm not as worried about the defense as you may be. Yeah, I get it. It's David Montgomery. Next week they're facing wait, who are they taking?
Taylor.
Huh?
Jonathan Taylor.
Oh yeah. Jonathan Taylor, completely different running back. The man runs through people, but I'm not as worried. I think they'll figure it out. But it was something else. I gotta say. I mean, if anything, if their defense does not improve, that just shows you how good of a defensive coordinator Brendan Staley was, who is now the head coach for the Los Angeles Chargers. But
now I think, go ahead. Okay.
I was gonna say, overall, for Sunday we had a great slate of games, but moving on to Monday, which, hey, it was the last leg of a parlay that I cashed out the night before. And if I was sitting there with that parlay still going on, I think I would have had like 3 heart attacks because we saw absolutely everything. And I got to give credit to you. You said that the Raiders have a chance of beating the Ravens. And then the continuous line of injuries that happened for the Ravens convinced me that, hey, the Raiders can beat them. And it was the first half. I'm gonna say it was a complete shit show. There was no offense, like no one was clicking on offense. The defense was all right, but they would find ways to make stops. And then we get to the fourth quarter, and we saw absolutely everything. We saw wide receivers making plays. We saw, Derek Carr just being a Derek Carr that we're not so accustomed to seeing. We saw something great out of Derek Carr. We saw Lamar Jackson being great. And I guess the story of the game is just turnovers and then which teams capitalized on these turnovers. And at the end of the day, it was Derek Carr and the Las Vegas Raiders capitalizing on turnovers. Abby, I guess wrap it up with a summary.
We started off great with Thursday, opening night, Tampa Bay, Dallas, and we ended off week 1 with a bang. Ravens, Raiders. It was the most hard game to call, in my opinion, of the whole freaking weekend, in my opinion. I felt the Raiders would win. Probably 5 times during the game I thought they were going to lose. They won the game. They missed – Derek Carr missed Henry Ruggs multiple times. He missed Waller. The referees called a bullshit pass interference, offensive pass interference. All in all, I'm going to say right now, the Ravens season is now going to be defined by injuries. Their season is going to be defined by these injuries. They lost Tyrese Phillips for the season, their left guard. That's huge. On a already new O-line, you already lost your running backs. Marcus Pierce is gone. And Marquise Brown, give him credit. He looked great. Marquise Brown looked like he was working on his game in the offseason. Mark Andrews, where are you? I see no Mark Andrews. Sammy Watkins, great. Tyree Williams, what a debut. Great. He looked amazing. And Latavius Murray also. Lamar Jackson looked great. But at some point, these injuries are going to catch up to you. And I just don't think the Ravens have the horses now going forward. Could they win double-digit games? Yes. Could they potentially make the playoffs? I don't think so. I picked them not to make it. And will it be close? Yes. But I seriously doubt they'll make it. Oakland, yes. Max Crosby, what a performance. That defense, all heart, balled out, in my opinion, even though they gave up, 20-something points. Kicking, great kicking by both kickers. Oakland, if they lost that game based off that interception, I think that would have their season could have been done off after week 1, after what that pick had represented. You hit the ball at the 1-yard line in OT. You miss, you can't convert first down. Second down, you have a false start. Third down, you missed the receiver in the corner on the fade route. And then fourth down, Willie Snead. The first time I heard Willie Snead, I didn't know Willie Snead was on this damn team. And the first time Willie Snead, the ex-Ravens name came up, the ball ricochets off of somebody's helmet and it picks off. And I'm like, damn, bro. Damn. That's how this game's going to end. And then Lamar Jackson said, hold my beer. I'm going to make sure this game's not over yet. And he folded. He fumbled. It happens, bro. You can't fumble. And Lamar Jackson played awful, in my opinion, in terms of the turnover game. He made some great throws. He ran the ball like the only way he can run it. And all in all, Ravens lost. I don't know how the Ravens recover from that, in my opinion. Monday night, short turnaround. Now you play on Sunday night against Mahomie. All in all, great capper of the week 1. Raiders pull it off. We'll give them a chance. They did it. And the Ravens, they got some serious shit in terms of injuries to deal with going forward.
All right. Would you like to talk about Thursday night football?
I would like to talk about it, but there's much to talk about. I think this is a simple statement here. Washington's going to win this game tomorrow. Their QB is maybe even better than Fitzmagic right now, if not just average, just right there. So back-to-back home losses for Washington, I don't see that happening. That defense did a great job against Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. Bro, your offense scored 7 points at home. A short turnaround, 4 days. Now Andrew Thomas could be pissing his pants that now instead of Von Miller or whoever else Denver had on their D-line, you're going up against – there's nowhere to hide this man. You can't hide him anywhere. You would have put him at left guard, right guard. Guess what? You got Jonathan Allen and you got a man named Deron Payne. Any guy named Payne that plays defense, bruh, that's scary. And then if you put him out in his natural position at right tackle or left tackle, you got to deal with Montez Sweat or that man that you could have drafted, Trace Young. It's about to get hell. Daniel Jones, if I were Daniel Jones right now, I'd fake a stomach virus. I'd fake a hamstring injury. I swear to God. I would fake an injury because I ain't trying to actually get injured in this game. Landon Collins, he gotta make an extra effort with some of those hits that he about to throw down on y'all because of the Giants rivalry game. So, man, they lost Fitzmagic. Obviously, Curtis Samuel's not there. I think it's gonna be a very low scoring game. But I think if you score even 7 points, if you're Washington, that will be enough. The one saving grace for Giants fans, I think, would be I think Daniel Jones is undefeated in his career against Washington.
Yeah, we're looking to win 6 in a row against Washington.
Oh, look at you. Look at you by saying that. Guess what? I don't think it's about to happen. Oh, my God. It's going to get ugly fast. And Saquon Barkley, I hope you're healthy, bro, because you're going to need to be blocking some of those blocks. They're going to need you.
All right, guys. That wraps it up for this one. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.